I got 99 problems, but a ain't one.
It seems like he has 100 problems now since his latest news came out. Let's check it out.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after-party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever such a crime."
Well, it seems like a really common pattern now that people with a lot of money feel like they can just get away with anything. Since they have all this money, they can buy the best lawyers and get themselves out of situations that most normal people wouldn't be able to get themselves out of. And after you do that a handful of times, you kind of just feel like you can get away with anything.
Against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? He added, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people." Joining us now, Joey Jackson, senior legal analyst and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. There's a lot to unpack here. Joey, I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it. It's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
So based on the allegations, Jessica, good morning, good to see you. I think that it certainly could be. Why do I say that? Now, he, of course, is...
Well, I mean, if the lady is lying, Jay-Z could probably file like a defamation of character lawsuit against her, because it is we've seen in the past where women, they take advantage of the situation with a lot of rappers and moguls going through these sexual assault cases, and then they might just try their hand and come out with a sexual assault, claiming sexual assault against a rapper or someone with a lot of money, and hopefully they just take their $1 billion or whatever and just kind of like shut them up, like, let's take this out of court, I'll give you 20 million and you can just stop talking about it.
More than annoyed would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because rape in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint, is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her, and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors. And if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right, more than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw...
I mean, it seems like it would be really hard to prove a sexual assault that happened 24 years ago. I'm not sure what evidence they would use to prove that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what most sexual assaulters, or I guess predators, depend on, is like the victim not saying anything, because then they just get away with it. Well, I think we did see with what's his name? Oh, I forget the guy's name. Anyways, we've seen with people in the past where they do actually get jail time for this.
Saw her in distress. Number three, that she phone called her dad, who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and we'll see what happens, or if the DA looks and investigates.
So what happens now?
So what happens now is this is simply a civil complaint. And in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to fact-finding, right? Before that, just briefly, there was a demand letter sent.
I could be completely wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure with a civil complaint, it takes less evidence to prove versus with a criminal complaint, it takes more evidence. And so that might be why she's going for a civil complaint.
And a demand letter is a letter being sent by a lawyer saying, hey, I don't have to sue you. We can sit, we can mediate it. If we reach an agreement, it never sees the light of day. Jay-Z saying, I don't care about your demand letter. I look at it as blackmail. You want to sue me, sue me. You want to look at it criminally, look at it criminally, but it'll go through the fact-finding process. If a trial is necessary to determine the facts, that's what will happen, but it'll be deemed civil. No indication at this point as to whether or not any criminal investigation will ensue as a result of this.
Yeah, and Jay-Z came back incredibly forcefully against these allegations and really singled out that attorney as well for being, I'm paraphrasing here, but greedy, saying he's out to get money, and calling that letter essentially blackmail.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Jessica, also suing the attorney, saying he's intimidating him, harassing him, etc. Now, demand letters are not new. What lawyers do is they send them out as a matter of protocol and practice so that you can expedite the process. At the same time, there's certain ethical standards that you have to use, and you have to have a good faith factual belief that this is true. Now, you can argue this complaint was filed in October, right? Could have mentioned Jay-Z then. You didn't. Why? It was amended now to include him. Are the factual assertions true? Are they fact or fiction? Is it a money grab or not? All of that will be litigated in a court of law, but according to Jay-Z, this never happened, is pure fiction. It is a money grab, and he's fighting for his name, reputation, and certainly innocence and justice in his view, which is...
How do you guys feel about when people come out with information like this? If the information turns out to be false, that they actually get punished for it? Because it's like the woman in this situation has nothing to lose. It's like she can just come out, say anything she wants, potentially get paid $20 million, and then Jay-Z's character and his reputation is probably tarnished too, along with that. And but even if she's unsuccessful, his reputation is still kind of hurt, but she doesn't really lose anything. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about that.
Is he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, and you touch on a point too that I wanted to ask you about, which was that this was an amendment to this already existing lawsuit. What are people to take away from that? The fact that they're coming back and adding to this now with this specific name.
Yeah, Jessica, so it depends. That's also common. You could amend lawsuits, right, as a matter of course, and you do, to include certain factual allegations. The interesting thing to me in terms of your question and the takeaway, if you had this information about Jay-Z, it happened allegedly in September of 2000. Why not include it in the original complaint? What happened between October and now that necessitated you putting in, and it's a question of credibility. Was he celebrity A, right, as was noted in the October complaint? Is this pure fiction? And what's interesting in the complaint is he really, that is the lawyer, tries to tie Jay-Z to Mr. Combs in so many ways, right? Birds of a feather is the argument that he's making. You can make that argument. You need the facts to sustain it. Let's see if they come up with any facts.
Yes, all right, we will.
Okay, so this was a blind reaction to this. I just saw the story, thought I would react to it. It's getting pretty crazy. I mean, a lot of these guys, it's like we've seen so many billionaires and multimillionaires these past few years get accused of sexual assault. It's like I'm not sure what water these guys are drinking, but it's not good. I'll tell you that. All right.